Nice to meet you. I'm your dietitian. Not to confuse for nutritionist. They're two different things, although quite similar and often can be mistaken for one another. I specialize in your diet, which is why I'm called a dietitian. And so I will just customize what you should eat, what's best for you. And since this is your first time here, I will ask you to fill out more than usual. When you come visit me again, I will not be filling out any forms unless I need to just keep update on your goals and your progress, which we're not going to stray too far away from. Our aim is to maintain our goal and not change it. Unless something really just isn't working out for you, then I'm here to customize that for you to the best of my abilities. Okay, so we depend solely on the food you eat and what we feel is best for you throughout the day, like the amount of sleep you need, or perhaps we can hint at some exercises or stretches you need to take for certain things, but we're not a personal trainer. We're not responsible for that part. You would visit someone else for that, but I can only tell you what you should and shouldn't really consume to maintain and achieve your goals. So how does that sound? Excellent. So I'm going to be using different color pens. I'm going to use a pink one for the first initial intake form and my other color pens just to kind of help me keep track. So if you see the different colors, you'll know why. It's just my format of when I scroll through papers in a file folder under your name, I can easily pick out what form based on what color without having to look and read at what the form is. So there's 3 different forms: a new patient, nutrition assessment form, another form which is a bariatric form, although we're not utilizing that for bariatrics today. It's just called that because it would be an intake form for bariatric clients. However, we do use it because we need to know the information in that specific form. So, and then we have one more, which is an outpatient nutrition form, which is more detail about that. So I'll go into it more later. But basically, it says at the very top fold that one's health and well-being, and I have to go over this with you since it's your first time. I'm just going to go into detail about the basics, about what we're here to do and the progress we will make together and how we will achieve the goals together. Okay, you work with me, I work with you. Do you have any questions so far? That all sound good? Was I explaining clearly to you? Do I need to slow down? Okay, perfect, excellent. So I want you to just be comfortable and honest with me through this whole process. You know, there's a form of a trusted bond. You know, your information is not shared with anyone. I cannot force you what to do by HIPAA compliance. Everything is confidential, so you can rest assured that your private information will never be disclosed anywhere to any mental health facility or anything. If you tell me something, I confide that it is kept secret. Okay, so, you know, feel free to just, if you're frustrated about something in relation to your diet or your lifestyle leading to your diet, because it's kind of linked with behavioral health, then, you know, I can refer you out to someone else because my specific is only diet. Does that make sense? Okay, so just really quickly, it says one's health and well-being are influenced by many different things, including lifestyle, family history, emotional health, like we just went over, and nutrition, eating habits. Please complete the following questionnaire to the best of your ability to give us an overall view of your general lifestyle and health habits. So instead of you filling it out, I know it makes people nervous when you walk in and the first thing someone does is it's like, you don't know what you're going to fill out. Like, is it going to ask you for a million things, and will you have to get up and keep asking me for help? And yeah, so since we're one-on-one, I'm not just a secretary at a desk. I will go over this with you, so don't worry. But I will start with your first name, please. Middle name. Last name. How do you spell that? Okay, just wanted to confirm. Address. City. State, obviously. Zip code. Okay, please indicate your preferred method of contact: homework, cell, or email. Okay, what is your home phone? Yeah, either is fine. I'll ask for that next to your work phone. And your cell. Okay, great. Be sure to notate that then. Your birth date, please. Age. Email address. Height. Now we're more going to get into the nutrition diet part of it. Okay. Your weight. Again, please, as honest as possible so I may help you with everything, every single detail. That's why you're here. Okay. Just the best of your knowledge on average, even if it fluctuates. Okay. Excellent. All right. Your blood type, if you know it. Okay. Your occupation. Marital status. Age of any children. Okay. Alright, let's see here. With whom do you live? Include any children, parents, relatives, and or friends, and include their ages. So example, Sarah, age 7, sister. Just go into detail with me. Okay. Perfect. Primary care provider. The date of the last physical exam. Approximate guess is fine. Okay. Other doctors or practitioners you see. Okay. Would you like to receive email notifications regarding any cooking classes or demonstrations? We also teach that on our website portal to kind of maintain the inspiration of a healthy diet. Okay. Alright, please sign on the bottom to confirm all of this is true. Great. So I'll go ahead and move on with my blue pen. And this will be in my records. You do not need a copy of this. Alright, so now for the nutrition assessment form. So this stuff, let's see, was already filled out. I already know this. Let's see. Okay, so is your employment full-time, part-time, retired, or also a student, or any other? Okay. So what are your work hours like? Okay. So this is your medical history. So do you have a history of diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, cancer, sleep apnea, or arthritis? Okay. Have you ever been diagnosed with an eating disorder? Let's see here. Let's check all over-the-counter medications you take. Any multivitamins by their brand name? Any single vitamins like vitamin C, E, B, calcium in their type? Okay. Any herbs in their type? Okay. Other things? And let's see if you take any prescription medications. Okay. Do you drink alcoholic beverages? Okay. How frequently? Okay, that's fine. Alright. Did you have any surgeries by chance? Okay, such as gastric bypass, a sleeve, gastrectomy, or gastric balloon. Okay. Thank you for that. Now this is the other form. And this is more what we're going to be continuously looking and checking back, and I'm using the purple pen for this one. And I want you to get an assessment of this form and familiarize with yourself with it. And this is the form I will take home with you and bring a copy of, so that you can finally organize your meal plans, what time of days, any other goals you have in mind. I want you to sit and journal. It can even be, honestly, on the back of the copy of the page I give you, and depending on how much information you provide me today, I may even need to write on the back of this and give you a copy as well if we really fill out a lot, because some people, they consume a lot and they don't realize it. So I would need extra room for that, and to write down and fill out all the things. People don't really realize, like, oh wow, I actually, this isn't a non-judgmental aspect. We're just here to talk, right? I'm just reaching for the goldfish, and then half an hour later, they don't realize they reached for the potato chips. So I want you to start keeping track and maintaining your diet by keeping track of it. That's the first step you need to take. And there are excellent apps for that on the phone, where, as long as you remember and remind yourself to do so, you can fill out, at this time, 11:30, I ate Jell-O, and then at 11:45 I ate pudding, and I had a craving, and I prefer you to write it down and then show me rather than scrolling through an app, because we have a no phone policy in here. You can have it on you, but just don't take it out, because we need that one-on-one interaction. I don't want anyone sitting here being on the phone while I'm speaking to them, and because our minds are so powerful that we need that centered focus in human interaction in order to get that help we need. And so I would much rather you write it down, that's my point, than use an app. But if you would like to use the app on your own terms, you can do that outside of this session. But I would just recommend you not, because it's going to take away from the help I'm trying to give you. Apps usually recommend, like, oh, you need to do this and this if you're to lose 5 pounds, and then all of a sudden you're trying to follow what the app tells you and then what I'm telling you. That's never going to work, because what I'm telling you is not what the app tells you. An app is more for the general population, but only I will know, and I'm certified and licensed to tell you, customize based on your height, weight, any medications you take, any vitamins you take, any herbs you take, any supplements you take. Based on that and your diet intake, what you should do. An app will never be able to do that for you. So, again, I just thought I'd stress the importance of that. If you'd like to try that out and you feel like things are not working with me, and you move on with your life and you do the app and it works fine, great. But that is yet to occur with anyone. There's a reason we're trained in this, because we know what we're doing and we can customize the greatest benefit for you, as a personal trainer would customize the workout for your body type. And how much you lift can be different for different people, especially if you have things like, let's say, muscular dystrophy. All of a sudden you have to lift 4 times more than the average Joe in order to get the exact muscle strength and build. So that's what I mean. An app will never know what to do for you. It's not like a super smart artificial intelligence computer. So, alright, so let's write today's date down. The time. Give me one moment, just filling out our basic info here and my own info. Were you referred here to someone? What was your clinician's name? Okay. Do you know her last name by chance? Okay. Right. So this is basically your food log, kind of like a pre-counseling food log that we're going to submit today into the computer. When you leave here, I'm just gonna go and put this on my website and just put you in your own separate file folder. I'm currently managing about 4 others at the moment, who sees me consecutively every other day. So some people, let's say, come in Tuesday, then Thursday, then Saturday. Some people Monday, like you, Wednesday, and then Friday will come in. I have Sunday off, thankfully. But not that I don't enjoy my job, but we just all need a break, right? And that day is also, the day in between, I should say, where you see me, is also kind of like what we call cheat days. So it gives your body rest and break and time to adjust to the new diet. We will never ask you, for the most part, unless you're, let's say, a bariatric patient, tell you to cut your diet immediately, because it's overwhelming for your system. It causes things like stress, breakouts, hives, even in some instances, and very rarely neurotic disorders, because some people are so dependent on sugars and carbohydrates, and when you just cut it cold turkey, it causes a chemical hormonal imbalance. So you see the stressed importance of what I'm telling you. Some people, unfortunately, mistakenly go on a food plan diet on a phone app, and all of a sudden it says, whoa, you're intaking, let's say, 500 calories a day. This is not possible, but of sugar and 1,000 of carbs. You need to go lower that to, let's say, 200. And then it will tell you to cold turkey cut all of that intake. And then it causes cardiovascular issues, breathing issues in people, because all of a sudden it's like a drug. So when you cut that from someone, they're like withdrawing from alcohol use or something, or cigarettes. They get physically ill because they're so used to that consumption, and it's the same process. And God forbid, especially if you take any other medications or supplements or specific diets, and then you just cut it cold turkey. So we will never recommend you do that. Okay? But basically, so let's say when you visit me on a Monday, I expect you to follow the Monday diet. When you visit me on a Wednesday, I expect you to follow the Wednesday diet. Think of it like a Jenny Craig meal plan. Certain days they send you certain foods to your door, so you would need that the day in between, like Tuesday and Thursday, to be your cheat day where you can eat chocolate cake, pizza, donut, but don't binge it, right? That's just kind of a healthy balance of whatever you normally wouldn't intake, but we're slowly going to progress you to stop that type of intake, okay? So by week 5, that cheat should be something resemblant of this. Not exactly a cheat day. This would more be part of your regular intake of your diet, but we want to encourage you to transition those cheat days into something healthier. So let's say celery sticks with maybe a little extra calories of ranch dressing. You know what I mean? Like something good and that doesn't give you like a guilty pleasure kind of feeling, because we forget also what we absorb emotionally is what we take on into our body's systems. So if you associate a food with guilt and consume it now, you feel guilty and you wonder why. So we don't go there, but that's more of an advanced study of kind of the science of how our body works and our physical health. So but yeah, so I encourage you to start off with this whenever you're craving something. This is an excellent fat burner. So when you're just having an urge to go grab for the wafers of Kit Kat bars, grab this, wash it, and snack, okay? And this will make you feel fuller for much longer. And it's always a great idea to keep on you. It doesn't go bad fast like a banana does, or apples cut open, for example. So that's why they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It really does. So, or I should say the dietitian. Alright, so I just need some subjective information now from your end. Your reason for visiting me today. I'd like to know that. Overall, just what was the whole purpose of coming here? Not your goal, just the purpose, the reason. Great, thank you. Now your goals. What are your tentative goals for the long run? By the time you leave here from your last appointment 5 weeks from now, what would that look like? Sure, you can feed back to me many verbs or adjectives, anything that would describe that in as much detail in a vision in your mind's eye as possible. Excellent. Fantastic. You're already doing great. So I need to know your current eating patterns. So basically any typical foods eaten during this time, and you can guess. Obviously we don't eat the same exact thing, the same portions daily, but you can guess. I just need to generally know what your habits are. And typically, we're humans, right? So typically we have something we do every day, at least one thing. This is on my own terms. I have to do homework after you leave here. My job is not just complete in this office. I have to go home and figure out the exact weight in grams and of everything, and proteins and fats and sugars and whatever you're intaking. And then I come back with you on Wednesday, 2 days from now, and then feed that back to you. And then you feed back to me what you have been consuming, and then I go home, and then Friday I feed back to you, and then feed back. So you see the pattern? That's the whole first week, is just what are you doing? I just need to know. So I just need to know your foods that you've eaten. But this stuff about proteins, fats, you don't need to know. But I do need to know if there are any fruits and vegetables included into that diet. So any snacks at all. Any restaurant food, okay? A lot of times we don't think about that. That's also kind of considered a cheat day. When we go to our favorite, let's say Olive Garden or TGI Fridays, and we order the chunkiest pasta noodles ever. Like, we go all in. They say, would you like some cheese? Oh, yes. And we just keep going with the cheese. We don't even say stop, you know. Then we order a Coke or even a Diet Coke. Although the joke is, a Diet Coke is not really a dietitian's best friend, is it? So we don't realize how much we consume. Exactly. So not to mention how still we are. A lot of times people work from home, for example, and they don't realize they're sitting all day. They're on their bed, on their couch. So it adds up. And they're eating all this food that's not necessarily good for them. So, all right, so I'm going to ask you from an order of breakfast down to dinner, and then I'll ask you the snacks and beverages you consume in between, and a few other questions, and we will be completed with your session for today. See, it wasn't that hard, right? The first day, honestly, is the hardest after. It's just so much easier. Well, unless you're struggling with your diet plan, but we'll go into that more on Wednesday. So, what is your typical breakfast? What does it look like? And just tell me anything you would eat. Like, you don't have to say, like, one day I'll eat this, another day I'll eat that. Just give me one day's breakfast. And feed me back the worst day. So, let's say your best day would be oatmeal. Your worst day would be IHOP's pancakes with chocolate syrup. Okay? And detail as much as possible. Alright. Anything else? You sure? There you go. Sometimes we can forget. Lunch. Tell me the same thing instead for lunch. If you just have brunch, add that as well. As much detail as fine. Possible dinner I can imagine. But I would like to know your habits, because I'm trying to grasp at psychologically. Let's say you're having just an awful day, and your awful days where you can't stop crying, everything doesn't seem to be going your way, you're just having a bad day flat out. You are more likely to reach for those foods during that time because you say, oh, forget it, you know, what's life worth living if I can't enjoy something? So, you see, and then unfortunately that causes a vicious cycle of continuing to do that when things don't work your way. And before you know it, let's say you gain that extra 10, 20 pounds there and there, and all of a sudden you're now upset about that happening and you continue the cycle. So a lot of people go down that path not realizing why and where did it stem from. It's not my job to tell you necessarily. It's my job to motivate you to change. And you coming here means you are willing to. So continue with the dinner. And now the snacks. Just list all the garbage snacks. Yeah, that counts as a snack. Good observation on your part. Now beverages, just the awful ones. Do you have any allergies or food sensitivities? Okay, that's all. All right. Any dietary limitations, such as dislikes, cultural, religious, or ethnic preferences? Like fasting and stuff, okay. Do you have any time or prep issues, like meal prep plan, timing that would be conflicting with your day-to-day work life, or in general that would be an inconvenience to you in any way, shape, or form throughout the next 5 weeks? Anything stopping you from committing to your time that is scheduled? Like, we're going to schedule you to eat, let's say, an apple at 11:30 every other day. Okay. Any sleep patterns that I should be aware of that are out of the ordinary? Let's say 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, I need to know everything. Don't concern yourself with that. I don't need to know why. I just need to know what. Any stress or environmental issues? Understandable. Okay. That's common. More than you think. Weight history? Any fluctuating issues that you've experienced in the past? Or that you've concerned yourself with and attempted to change your diet on behalf of? Okay, one more question. Any family support? That anyone that can be there for you at the times of need? Just family members? Alright, excellent. Well, that was everything. Now I'm kind of just going to go over the general basics again. We're not really going to formulate a meal plan, but I will outline, at least for you to get started, on what you feel is the best for you. So you're just going to feed back to me on a typical day, Monday through Friday, how your goal meal plan would look like. So for this instance, in the sake of our demonstration, today I'm going to write Monday right here. So I'm going to write, let's say 10 a.m. That's a fair time to, after you wake up, brush your teeth, get dressed, and get something to eat. It should be about 10 a.m. in the morning. And then I'm going to write 12 p.m. in the noon, when we kind of tend to crave a snack, right? And then I'm going to write 2 p.m. when we tend to crave lunch. Then I'm going to write 5 p.m. when we tend to crave dinner. And then I'm going to write 8 p.m. when we tend to crave another snack. 5 different times you want to limit your intake during the day, and you want to minimize the portions because no one should be eating 5 whole meals a day, right? So obviously 10 would be your first meal, 2 would be your second meal, and 8 would be your third meal, 12 and 5 would be just the snacks in between to keep you moving, to fuel you during the day. So I just want you to close your eyes now and just imagine whatever you imagine, whatever goals you wrote down now. I don't remember off the top of my head because we're just getting started, but imagine yourself, whatever that may be, a fit, healthy body, exercise throughout the day. You're lean, you feel energetic, you're physically fit and strong. You consume a light, healthy diet throughout your living days. So, what do you see yourself as? What do you imagine? Just feedback to me. What would you be eating at 10 in the morning on a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday consistently? Excellent. Apple chips, that's a good idea to get started, okay? Depends what kind, but we'll go for that on Wednesday. Orange juice, alright. Perfect. Very good. Toast, okay. What do you put on that toast? Olive oil, excellent. Alright. Again, it's your first day. I'm not going to dictate what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just going to encourage you. Alright. A light pepper spread. Nice. Anything else appetizing that would make your mouth water that you crave right now as a healthy diet? Okay, you just want a light breakfast. Okay. Alright, what would your snack at noon be? You're taking a break from work. What would you grab for in the shelf first thing? Granola bar, okay. 2 p.m., your lunch, what would that look like? Caesar salad, okay. Croutons. Italian dressing, okay. Mushrooms, okay. Tomatoes. You're just adding your own little ingredients. What else would you eat? Apple juice, okay. Anything you would have on the side? What kind of soup? Oh, okay. Any snack? No? Okay. Just keeping it light throughout the day. That's really what you want to commit to. Okay. Alright. And 5 p.m., what would be your kind of mid-meal snack between lunch and dinner? A smoothie. Okay, a fruit smoothie. What kind of fruits? That's very creative. Oranges, apples, okay. Bananas, pears, strawberries, blueberries. Would you add this all in one shake? Oh no, okay. And different ones. Just some of your favorite. Okay, excellent. Would you add any vegetables? Would it be a green smoothie or just a fruit? Okay. That's it. Alright, perfect. And what would be your 8 p.m. dinner before bed? I know it can be difficult, but let's pretend this is just one day out of the week. Would that be kind of more your cheat meal? Like the whole day you spend it eating really healthy, and then for dinner you want something kind of to stabilize you through the night. A nice wheat pasta. Okay. That's healthier than a regular, right? What else would you have on that pasta? Like a vegan cheese. Okay, interesting. Have you been thinking about transitioning to a vegan diet? You'd have water as your drink. Okay. Alright. Anything else you'd put on there? Okay, good. That's definitely not gonna add calories. That's just a little like seasoning. Excellent. How would you cook it? Light salt. What kind of sauce? Okay. Okay, excellent. That's a good idea. People usually don't think of making their own, right? And using fresh veggies. Perfect. And you'd have garlic in there too. Very good. Wonderful. That's it. Okay, so we've pretty much already set a perfect goal plan for approximately one day of the week. You don't, after you're done with our program, necessarily have to stick to this exact same meal plan every Monday, but we do encourage you to at least stick to it as close as possible. Clearly, you can remove things like, let's say, from your Caesar salad. You don't necessarily have to add mushrooms that day if you don't feel like it, obviously. But, and you can like exchange little ingredients here and there, beverages here and there, as long as you don't do it too frequently, at least while we're here, okay? But you're free to experiment and switch it up and, shoot me an email, call me, and tell me, hey, is it okay if I do this? Or let's move Monday to Wednesday. I'm really not in the mood now to go grocery shop for this thing. I forgot this ingredient. That's fine, okay? It's fine and dandy, but we just want you to be consistent, and consistency will lead you to your desired outcome, right? So this is a perfect setting for week 5, I definitely don't expect you to get here already, especially today. When you get out of here, I don't expect you to go home and now snack on a fruit smoothie, unless you want to, but we encourage you to at least take slow steps, day by day, week by week. So let's say the first week, I expect you to pick one of these and already be on them, so that's your only homework. So let's say by next week you should already be at, example, you can pick the easiest one, snacking on a granola bar instead of potato chips at 12 in the noon for your work break, right? Just for example, and again, these are just my hand-selected times, so you don't have to necessarily stick to these, but I'm going to photocopy this and give it your way before you leave from here so that you have this template and you can remember and write your own in a journal. There's something so powerful when we put pen to paper. We commit to our goals more instead of typing them on a computer. Did you know that? It's better to handwrite your goal because you are moving your hand with your mind and affirming it in stone, using your mobility as a technique to affirm it back into your mind. There's something about it over a Word document on a computer that will just make you stick to your goals more strictly, all the more efficiently, and I recommend you do that and write it down, pen or pencil, give it to me or make a photocopy to keep at home and give it to me so I can read what you've wrote, and we need that trust. Only write what you want me to say, okay? I don't need to know everything and every single detail, but another thing I will ask you to do as part of your homework for Wednesday is journal, not only today, but tomorrow and the morning of Wednesday before you come in here, and write exactly how you felt at that time, at that day. So let's say you ate that granola bar at 12 p.m. I felt sad. to know. Perhaps you are associating your feeling of now switching up your diet to something that makes you feel unsatisfied with yourself. And that's what you come back and we can talk about that and discuss what the reasons for that may have been that day. I'm not a therapist, but I just need to understand what is going on in your psyche to enable you to start wanting to eat junk food again, for example. What is it about a granola bar that was so off the tangent of your normal routine that enabled you to feel this emotion of sadness? And without figuring that out and talking it through with me as part of your diet plan, we will never get you the help you need or you feel you need, because a lot of times it is emotion based, and people all of a sudden just have this urgent desire to crave something else, and they didn't even realize all along they were picking up potato chips as a snack or barbecue chips as a snack at 12 in the noon, and now they continue to crave it. And that's again where I said, based on what you tell me, I would need to refer for different things. I can only do so much, but I can't get to the nitty gritty of why. I can just do my best to kind of talk you through it and encourage you to, change up your plan. And maybe just granola is not the thing for you. We can exchange it for something else. The key to addiction, especially food addiction, is it never works to completely get rid of it. I would never expect you to completely not eat anything at 12 noon, okay, for example. You always have to replace it with something better. That's why they recommend smokers chew gum. You have to replace the cigarette with something else that is more healthy. So chewing gum is an excellent supplement. Again, it doesn't always work that way, but you need a distractor. That's how the human brain works. So I hope you got something out of today. I'm sure you will, and that this was as helpful as possible to you. Again, thank you very much for coming in, and I will see you in a couple of days, and with your homework ready to turn in. I know it feels like school, sometimes it can be painful, but before you go, I must ask you, how much water are you drinking every day? Do you feel like it's enough? This is a 16.9 fluid ounce bottle of water. You need around 6 of these every day. Did you know that? Yep. At least 4 up to 8. About 6 of these every single day. And I know it's hard to measure, and I encourage you not to use plastic all the time. So you can literally just have one of these at home in a refrigerator so that the plastic doesn't degrade and go into your water. But once you're done drinking through one bottle, you have it emptied out. And you fill your water from, like, let's say the Brita, to measure one of these so that you carry one of these with you, or you have an extra canteen that's about the same size, and just fill 6 of those every day. So let's say, as part of your meal plan, you have the 10 o'clock, so you would drink one then, the 12 o'clock one then, and then one for every meal, and then one before bed. After 8 o'clock, let's say 10 p.m. before bed, you should have already drank one whole other bottle, so about 6 throughout the day. And so it depends on what you eat. If it's more salty food, you're going to crave more water, so maybe you end up drinking about 2 throughout one meal. It's fine if you drink more, if you drink less, as long as you balance it out. So that's something you should know. But 2 things that should always be on your work desk. Okay? Because when you get that urgency of that craving, you're not going to perfect your diet plan the first few weeks. Never works. If you crave, even after you've eaten a granola bar. Okay, have this near you. This will stop that craving and fulfill you. It will satiate you and give you the right vitamins, nutrients, and minerals you need, okay? So, Thank you very much. I'm glad this could help you. And I will see you soon.